Hello guys, welcome back again. Scotty Senior here, and welcome to a Nissan party. It appears to be at Sardinia Road Track C, I do believe. We have bounced in an AMG and got involved with these Nissans. We were struggling. We tried the Nissan, it was the car to be in, but we'd only had the one practice in it. And we thought to ourselves, well, we know that we love the AMG, so we'll try and stick in it. And we've got ourselves in fourth. Do we make it round the first corner? Oh, we got lucky there, but we've made it around the first corner. And we're going to sneak up to second. And this is the first race from the penalty system has changed. And what I was saying in my last video about, you will start to see guys being more aggressive as we'll lose the back end at the end of the first lap on still slightly cold tyres. It's going to drop us down again. With a big queue behind us, and there's someone else. Fair play to you, mate. Mr. Durkin deciding not to go for the Nissan. .25 lapper. It was only a minute lap, and perhaps a 51, 52 second lap, I believe. And I don't believe there's a compulsory tyre in this one. There may be. I may be forgetting. Just a small nudge there, mistiming their braking. You can see we don't take any advantage of it. Filter back in behind. And you can see the speed of this Nissan in a straight line. It is going to be hard to get past. As the leader starts to edge it out ever so slightly. And still a big queue behind us. This was a very nervous race. Really enjoyed this race. Although this is try number 1. Hint hint, what's going to happen? I'm not quite sure myself. I know I didn't even save try number 2. Try number 2 went that bad. We drove like a wee grandmother around the outside of the first corner, just hoping no one was gonna come out and hit us. But that shit didn't happen for us. We were pushed into the sand as we were coming back up on the track from that wee sand trap there. We were collected and put into a spin. We then spun again. Everything went wrong. As Murray Walker would have said, what could go wrong? It did go wrong. Or what can go wrong usually does go wrong, and it did. For us it did anyway. But up until this particular race, this was an intense race for me. I felt like the crowds and all these other racers here today, they turned their heads when a man in an AMG turned up. You could hear them whispering. The noises in the backgrounds were, who is he? Who is this guy? Where'd he come from? And we managed to stick ourselves in fourth, I believe. We were there to start, and we're now running in third. And the reason we went for the AMG was purely for this corner, this one corner. We felt like in the Nissan we were really struggling to get good drive out of that there and control the back end, especially as the tyres started to wear a wee bit. So we've just played it safe and bounced in our old car, our old manufacturer car from last year, the AMG. I'm tempted to go back to them simply because of this car. I did not like the Group 4 AMG, but the Group 3 one is a badass car. Beautiful car to drive. And you can see we're still absolutely, the hands are sweating right now. Every time we look behind us, there's still a load of Nissans there ready to have us for breakfast. No sauce or salt or anything required to make us look more tastier than what we already are. A sexy black and green livery. The door number is number 17 in this one, so again, it's not expecting a lot from us. Got a guy right on us now. Is he thinking of making a move? We're only getting a wee bit of protection now. We're still being in the slipstream. I do think if he shows me his nose here, he's going to have it. We're not going to bother fighting it off too much. And because we didn't fight it off too much, the next guy gets a run on us too, but we're not worried. We've spotted a nice wee gap here, no pressure, immediately behind us now. And we were hoping that we couldn't shake these two. So we were hoping that these two will give them a chance to go and start kicking off some shit with the guys up ahead, to hopefully keep us in with a chance for the win. As you see, the leader was starting to get away. Although he's went into the pits, so he must have guys on a two-stabber by the looks of it. And still just a small gap behind us, no immediate pressure, but it is coming. It's starting to build. As I say, very intense, very nervous race for me, this one. And we wanted on the backs so damn bad. We wanted that bottle of bubbly, even the non-alcoholic bottle of bubbly that you get for third place. Would have took that one just so as we could have blinded whoever won the race by squirting it right in his eyes at the end, and there's nothing he could have done about it except stand there and smile, because that's what you have to take when you win. That's your punishment for winning. Second and third place try to blind you for the next race. And I would say we should be under pressure. We are indeed, Mr. Hummy. We'll go for a small skip. We're still clinging on that slipstream. You can see there's still a lot of us here. This should be our pitting lap. And or we skip forward. Well, there's nothing happening. Nothing done there. And the leader's staying out. In will come. Should be another set of mediums. I believe it. I don't think there was a compulsory for hard tire in this one. No, there wasn't. We're back out on a set of mediums. And still, we're over the moon. We're happy with where we're sitting. We've got 3 guys right in front of us here. That's another 3 spots, and we're a bit unsure as to what the other guys ahead of these ones are doing. Mr. Hummy's still right there with us. And see, if you go wait at all to try and get a bit of a run, you've got to nose up the inside of you. So it's hard to hit you, it's hard to get away, because you have to go defensive, and then you're in a slow line. Just trying to stay nice and wide there to get a nice big cut back, but again, Mr. Hummy taking advantage. And again, getting a wee bit aggressive. Although it wasn't that aggressive. It was a great pass with small contact. And could we sneak up the inside there and get into the slipstream. He went into pits, so at the moment we're top 5. We're getting a pit party at the minute, although I suspect we'll have to be coming under attack here. We'll let Mr. Hummy have this one, no doubt. I'll try and get the cut back on, but he parks himself on the apex. Good driving, sir. And still trying to keep our patience. There's more spots up ahead for the both of us. If we can just be smart here. A wee bit of a gap behind us now. I'm trying to recall where it all went wrong for me, and I can't recall it. Mr. Hummer, or Hummy, losing the driver of that one, and we are getting held up now, bam. We could be up battling for that battle of bubbly. There's a top 3 ahead of us if we can get some sort of move done here. And remember, he was struggling around that section. We always seem to have the drive on him coming into this corner. Lap 18 of 25 underway with the pit party and the battle of bubbly in front of us, teasing us. We're licking our lips now. We're thinking we're having it. We want it so much. Oh, and that has to be time lost there at side by side. Is there anything for us to get done now? Oh, we missed time to break in there. We've hit into the back of Tommy, and Tommy has hit into the back of Mr. Durkin. Apologies, Mr. Durkin. My bad on that one. To be fair, we were on better tyres, so I think it was going that way. Perhaps by the end of that straight, on the way into that corner, we had been catching. Can we get ourselves into that slipstream with the third place guy? Oh. I'm certainly trying to put the pressure on him. $19 down, 6 to go. Getting a better run on him again there, and he's leaving the opportunity there for us to put our nose, and we decide to take that opportunity. And Mr. Durkin now back in it because of that. Hold back the as you were at the moment, but I think again I have a memory now after seeing that. I think that it's his line, and I think he thinks to himself, I'm going to leave space again, and it's too tempting. If you want to leave that for me to drive into, sir, I shall oblige. Almost every day of the week. Kind of went semi-defensive there and we backed out of it, but we are needing by this guy. There's a group starting to build up, we're getting held up, and we're looking behind us and we're getting a bit nervous. A move needs to be done. This time just going to try and get a bit of a sweep on him here, if we can. Again, good reason. Ho ho ho. Oh, do would go for it, but do would go for the lunge. It was time to risk it. It was time to risk it. It was an aggressive pass, and it. Just there we go. That's. We got too nervous waiting. We're watching all these guys coming up behind us. That one was aggressive, but it was legal. You can say what you want about it. It was legal. We just about got stopped, parked ourselves in front of them, and I think it was just about legal. Although perhaps getting what we deserved there for throwing the aggressive one. And I do believe that is going to end the race for us, basically. And we'll come around to start the last lap. Oh dear, what has happened there? We must have spun there, did we? Oh, we did. So it just all went wrong for us at the end of this one. Looking like a small chance for a top 3, and ending up a top 15. And you'll see in their second effort, we'll still give the fans that came along today, of course, a bit of enjoyment, and perhaps some lucky person gets to go home with a piece of a race car, because that's how we roll. Chance number 2 coming up.